Are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
We are live.
Hello and welcome to Bulls, Bear and Banter.
Welcome back to you.
Thank you. I was thinking for a minute as to what you meant.
It's been a while since you've been away.
Have you lost weight?
Yeah, looks like it, no?
No, yeah. I don't
No.
know. I don't
Weighing
think so.
scale?
I haven't checked.
Anyways, what are markets doing?
It's a decentish day. It's not. We've been able to hold, right? Is my understanding. Uh, the Nifty Bank, though, surprisingly, just not showing any steam, right? And it's a pocket or a space which is tariff agnostic, which is of course even
Some NPAs
GST
might
agnostic for some
No, but some NPAs might come into banks.
selectively, right?
No,
So
very
so you'll probably have gems and textiles as probably the only sectors which will largely be affected
Leather.
by tariff. Leather, okay. So that's the other one, but you don't have any material exposure which we're seeing within the
Which could lead to NPAs.
in the larger financial basket. We're not seeing any material exposure to these.
Agreed.
Of course, there may be one or two lenders having exposure. Maybe an Indus has towards gems and the like. But
Few and far in between. Okay, just before we go any further, today is a truncated version of Bulls, Bear and Banter. And you need to give the likes quickly for us to be able to take questions quickly. So I urge you, please put in the likes so that we can get the questions going ASAP. Yeah. So now, bang, sorry, you were finishing the point.
yeah, so I mean, from a lender perspective, from a broader lender perspective, there's no material exposure to these sectors. Of course, individual lenders. I was reading a note recently which said that City Union Bank had an 8% exposure within some of these tariff hit areas. So maybe that's one stock or a couple of stocks where you might want to be mindful. But outside of that, lenders should ideally be doing decently well. And I'm talking about the bank Nifty coming off. CUB is not part of the bank Nifty, and therefore to expect that the bank Nifty hasn't done well despite headwind in a pocket which is largely keeping them unaffected is slightly puzzling.
Yeah, it is. But ठीक है, flat है आज market, bank nifty flat है, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं यार. तो ठीक है.
But there hasn't been any potential triggers for bank.
There isn't a trigger for most things except for the GST like pieces.
Which we've
Right
been
now.
discussing all throughout. Yeah.
A positive trigger nahi hai, but generally you would tend to see an outperformance because there is no negative in an environment like this.
But after that retail CV, whatever happened, whatever the pieces which were affected, post that, I think we've just seen some recoveries also happened. And HDB Financial had gone back to its 740 issue prices, come back to its 790, 800 level. So, but yeah, I think probably on that factor, market is probably looking at rate cut, if any, from Fed, and I think that could. But I don't know. It just seems like post that they just wanted to wait till Q2, if any. And I think in the middle we've seen some positive movement on gold financials, which we saw yesterday, but yeah, largely the point.
Gold also hit an all-time high again today.
Yeah.
$3,600 an
Nifty
ounce.
metals, by the way, is rock and roll right now. 2.5% higher.
So that's where some
massive
action
uptick.
is. Yes.
Yeah. So gold hit it. Silver was above $40 a troy ounce for the first time since 2011, if I'm not wrong. So did really well. And mind you, globally, if you see one thing, viewers, that is happening is globally yields are zooming. Like gilts are getting trashed and halved. US yields nearly nudged 5%. UK yields are the highest since the turn of the century, by the way. Germany, French yields, 15, 20-year highs. You suddenly feel that if you are in India, you're in a cocoon, guarded well by the Reserve Bank of India policies, because we are completely isolated from this madness. I mean, imagine this sudden surge in yields across the world and so much of stress. I mean, what caught my eye was not the Ray Dalio interview that was published by FT, but Ray Dalio's counter that I gave a whole Q&A to them, and they published what they thought was my version instead of publishing my version. And then you read Ray Dalio's version. Boy, is it alarming. It's seriously alarming for what could happen to some of the Western economies. He's spoken about US predominantly, and there are some issues out there. Is what he's highlighting. So we are in for very interesting times.
I also want to mark out one more piece. So while you spoke about bond yields, very interestingly, it's also come on the back of record amounts of money printing.
Yeah.
And generally, when you have so much money printing that happens, you will see asset prices get buoyed as a result of that. And that's exactly what we're seeing. In fact, the US, I believe the market cap to GDP of the US is at an all-time high. It's higher than 1929 crisis. It's higher than 2000. It's higher than 2008 financial crisis. We're currently seeing a market cap to GDP, which is commonly known as the Buffett indicator, go above 200%. We're at 215 odd percent, where market cap to GDP is, which means that your GDP in the US is roughly 30 trillion, 30 and a half trillion, give or take a few. And the market cap is touching around 62 trillion. This is a combined market cap. That is unprecedented. And that, Niraj, would you ascribe that just purely as a result of the amount of money printing that's happened, that's keeping asset prices extremely elevated?
You could argue that too. Also, the multiples go higher, right, per se, for most asset classes. And in case of gold and silver right now, I think it's just this, that the tariff-linked issues are ensuring that countries, central banks, buy gold or are buying gold, are shifting physical gold into their vaults. So all of that is
and the gold to silver ratio is still at 85 plus, nearly 90 in fact. So that also not looking ideal.
I've tracked this for 22 years now, right, as a living. It never changes per se materially. For 22 years, I've been hearing, I've also been hearing dollar demise. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that array silver industrial use, it will outshine gold. 22 साल से तो नहीं हुआ. I started my career as a gold and dollar trader.
But sir, sorry to say, the de-dollarization needs to happen only once. It doesn't have to happen more than once.
I'm saying the theory has been espoused.
I take your point.
Every single year.
I take your point.
So I'm saying to think that okay, this time is different और इस बार तो होएगा.
Fair.
2004 से आप देख लो, हर दूसरे साल में आपको रीजन मिलेंगे कि why this is definitely going to happen. I remember during my career in business media, there was a time when the rupee climbed all the way from whatever 47 or whatever it may have been at that point of time, all the way to 38. At that point of time, the fears were like, or the talk was like, oh my God, now this is real. Rupee bhi 38 ho gaya. Ho gaya वापस 88. So, let things
but we've
happen.
seen that's the change, right? Because from a lot of people, a lot of countries preferring central bank of US and those bonds, essentially that has reduced, and they've like shifted the allocation towards gold, right? So my point largely is that we couldn't say that de-dollarization hoga, but at least the preference has now shifted towards gold, and the whole selling from China on central banks is also the other aspect, right? Ki wo pura that just got absorbed. We will let go of these UA dominated papers and move towards gold. I think that has been the change over the last 5 years, right? Compared to traditionally when you
especially after the Russia.
Yeah.
But there was also central banking buying then, to be honest. In the decade of 2000 to 2010. So I don't know.
But yesterday I got in a very interesting question, and which I don't have an answer for right now. Maybe you guys want to chip in. Generally, when the rates actually go down in the US, so you would say that the gold would rise further from that aspect generally, but the rates have always come down in times of recession amongst others. Right now, you can't say that there is a time of recession. So logically, just assuming the gold prices will go up from here, that I don't know. On this logic, I think only on this aspect, the rates are going to come down is something which I've been debating with people, but I don't know. I don't have an answer to that yet.
Multiple angles here, so maybe no clear answers there, because the gold price rise may not necessarily be only linked to one economic factor.
Yeah.
And which is that multiple places here. But we ought to stick to topics, and there are a bunch of stocks which are rallying. Puneet, any thoughts on TBO Tek? Did you study it at all?
TBO Tek, I just looked at it a little bit, but I think Mahima had given it a give thought. So the acquisition that they've done, of course, that is one of the key news flows. And it's a very interesting listing when it happened also. I think last year, if you see, there were two listings which were really, which I found very interesting. One was TBO Tek and one was Agility. Because like very differentiated business model compared to the traditional I think for Sagility also you would think that it's just the IT player, but with the focus of pharma, and I got a chance to speak to them last quarter. I think what they're doing is really some fantastic stuff, but of course the valuations are also high. For TBO Tek, I think I haven't looked at it itna aggressively. Let me just pull up
There was
what.
some acquisition that they did.
Yes.
I believe, as a result of which this really zoomed
Yeah.
in trade today. Right here, you have the details, right?
Yeah, just pulling those up. So acquired classifications from Nijati companies, estimated purchase 125 million, expanding in North America. A premium B2B2C luxury travel company, and has more than 10,000 travel advisors. But I think the revenue aspect was very interesting for this one. It's over $100 million already, so that will just get added to TBO Tech's current revenue profile. But yeah, I think this was one interesting one.
Interesting. Okay, so TBO Tek was one. A lot of other active stocks: Indus Tower, MobiKwik, Eternal, Ola Electric. On Eternal, you and I don't have a choice. We have to pay up.
Pay up, yeah.
Yeah, and
Will you
I'm
swap?
just wondering. I'm just
Will you
wondering
guys
whether
swap to only or something else if indeed Zomato really racks up the.
It's actually a very interesting time when they're choosing to do it, right? Because Abhi just there's a new platform announced only, and they're still like, okay, we're just going to go ahead and do it still.
I'm not so sure how easy the swap is, because the universe that Eternal is able to cater to versus some of the other platforms may not be as much. Swiggy, yes. I'm not so sure whether some of the I've not tried. Maybe I've not tried the other platforms. Have you? Does the universe largely remain the same? Are they able to cater to the same?
Not sure. I only
I think
use one platform. I don't want to mention which
No,
one.
but because the memberships are very limited, right? Just you get like 4 months ka membership now for ₹1. So essentially that, and I remember during COVID, people used to pay like 1,200.
4 months for ₹1.
Yeah, I just like for Zomato Gold, if you want to get 4 months, they charge you just $1.
Really?
Earlier
The
they used to.
and I remember during COVID, it was like $1,200 for a year for either of those platforms.
Yeah.
Around 1,000, 1,200.
I remember that.
Okay, just take it. Just order from our platform. Just take it. Just take the membership. I think that's something that's a good news. Of course, the discounts have also reduced on a little on. When you see the chains which Rebel Foods operates or McDonald's operates, us pe rehta hai. But the larger universe, the discounts have also reduced on those key restaurants which people would want to just stay home order because they'll get a discount. That has gone down dramatically.
They have. Yeah. So
Then there's this guy, Indus Towers, which is down today.
Yeah, it's the
Africa move. And I think the reason why they attributed it was, or one of the reasons being attributed to this is because it has been seen as a safe dividend paying yield stock, a dividend good yield stock. And if they do this, then a lot of their cash gets used up or something like that, as a result of which it ceases to be what its USP has been thus far. Sure, there could be growth in the future, but the current outlay, etc., will mean, and Indus Towers could suffer a bit. The analyst that we got to was actually constructive. He said, hey, I don't think it's a problem, but most of the other people have been negative on that.
but Africa can be a huge market, and of course, being purely in the B2B business will insulate them from customer facing and ARPU and all of that battle.
Yeah.
If that were to play out in Africa, and which has played out in India, and Indus Towers has to a large extent, or rather to some extent, been insulated. Maybe not to a large extent, but to some extent been in that sense insulated from the war that's played out even here.
Yeah, agree. But
Customer acquisition war.
Yeah, just that. To my mind, I just think that people think that this one, Indus Towers, because it's thought of as a play, which is a safety net, because it gives a dividend, and if that is under question, the street has every reason to be disappointed.
Correct. And I think, sir, the other piece also is that the large receivable that Indus Towers has, and what a lot of current investors are already penciling in, is that receivable will come in the form of cash straight into their lap, which may not come anymore. So maybe it's also that which is at play. The existing receivable, it's not just the future cash flow which might continue to accrue. It may also be the existing receivable which might come through. Sorry.
Oh, who do we have? We have a partner in crime. नहीं पुनीत रुको. But महिमा के लिए एक महिमा welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
For a guest appearance because there is a question right on FMCG space.
Yeah.
And we were also talking about TBO Tek, which Puneet of course made us aware of. And we're talking about Eternal also. So वो सब बात हो गई. But FMCG पे there is a regular viewer of ours who's asked a question, Mahima, and which is why I thought was pertinent to get you in on this conversation. Mahima, Shreya is saying she's a daily viewer, so Shreya, thank you so much for that. And Shreya is saying which FMCG stock would benefit the most from GST cuts and has not run much. She found VBL and Tata Consumer to be these.
I think yes, Tata Consumer for sure, but I think more than that, Dabur, Marico, counters like these will stand to benefit more,
Why so?
even HUL more, because these are more focused towards first thing your dairy products, your ready to eat. So a lot of dairy companies like Hatson Agro will also benefit because there the GST will come down from 5% to nil. So these counters stand to benefit more. A lot of dairy products, ready to eat products, plus your nuts. Condensed milk, butter, even your processed dairy products. So these companies stand to benefit more in terms of where the GST cut. They've not run up as much as one can expect. None of these FMCG companies, in fact, have considering the entire volume recovery, taking into consideration the GST cut also. I think they have some further room of growth that one can expect. So yes. These companies stand to benefit more.
Any thoughts on Varun Beverages? Anybody, Mahima?
I think my first reading was that aerated drinks will attract higher GST. So I don't think because Singoods, correct. So aerated sugary drinks, especially.
So we don't have
we don't have the details exactly, but if that comes into picture, they'll attract a 40% rate, which might turn out to be a negative for Varun Beverages.
Juices, right? Because Dabur is present in juices. Now,
Sugar.
Juices is at 12. And they were able to put it to 18 rather than go to 5. But you're still seeing a run up in something
Dabur.
like Dabur. So that was
juices would be a small part of the portfolio, maybe.
Yeah, but Tata Consumer has a bigger.
But because they have real, right? So I mean, it is a decent part of the business still. But yeah, I mean,
Tata Consumer is bigger. So
yeah. So you're seeing that on Tata Consumer.
No, so the question therefore is that if indeed it's what is the current GST on aerated drinks?
I'm not sure about that right now. I think it should be around 18% or 28%, which will go to flat 40% if that is included. That sugary aerated drinks.
But also there's one more thing you should keep in mind. Pepsi has at a global level pivoted very sharply.
Already, right? So is it 28% GST plus 12% compensation cess, which is levied on aerated drinks?
Yeah.
Right? So we need to check this because if this is indeed the case, they may not be as big a hit for Varun Beverages.
So if it stays at 40%, then no. But we'll have to check whether this is 28 plus 12%.
And the other piece is also, I don't know, maybe slightly far-fetched, but Pepsi at a global level has pivoted in a very big fashion more towards health. And Varun is at the center of it. In fact, one of their best models is what Varun operates in India as well as to a certain extent now in Africa as well. So that could well be an advantage.
But I think Coca-Cola is shifting more towards that healthier part of things, Diet Coke and stuff like that. Not sure if Pepsi is also doing that.
Okay. Pepsi is doing.
But thank you, Mahima, for joining it. We have 2 more minutes. Sagar Jain is saying great show. Thoughts on JSW cement results? I think the numbers were okay because the margins expanded quite meaningfully, and that's what you want to hear in a cement company. Remember, pricing has stood firm in the current quarter as well.
Yes.
Which is what Jeffries mentioned in the note. So keep that in mind. Good results. Pricing staying okay. आज थोड़ा pressure की बात थी from dealers, but otherwise pricing is stayed stable too. So keep that in mind. Raghu Sai is asking, is the market going to be watching the GST news and stay flat today? Waiting for the GST news, you mean, Raghu Sai? Yeah, very likely. Could happen. I would suspect that until that is out of the way, maybe the market stay a bit quiet.
Yeah. It's interesting because the increasing focus for Africa for all these Indian companies, Indus Towers today, Pepsi has expanded so much in Morocco. Like Varun Beverages has expanded in Morocco for Pepsi specifically. He's right there.
Who is right there?
Sajeet sir. That's what I'm trying to get him.
Oh, okay.
So that
before
was
we wrap up.
Before we wrap up, yes. So that was one. And like for Varun Beverages only, I think we were having that discussion. With food, he's actually increasing his focus on food for Kurkure, for Lay's, and manufacturing those for geographies in Morocco and Africa. that is going to be big for them. But and of course the two-wheeler space too is different only because like with what TVS and Bajaj have done in that market, like Bajaj was the most interesting because they used to be 50,000 units a month for Nigeria. Now it's 15, 1-5.
The bear is here finally.
क्या हालचाल?
एकदम खैरियत. So Sajeet, we were polishing off Bulls Bear and Banter for today,
Yeah.
and we thought it was apt to get you in for the final 5 minutes
Yes.
for one last time on Bulls Bear and Banter.
Yes. One last time.
One last time on Bulls Bear and Banter. So
Yes.
the okay viewers, it is Sajeet Manghat signing off today.
Yes.
And of course the newsroom will miss him. I'm sure a
Thank
bunch
you.
of viewers is gonna miss you, Sajeet. Because
I'm not sure.
We haven't
whether
given
you are
enough
convinced
time.
me or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
We haven't given enough time for comments.
Yeah. I think those people who actually joined in today wouldn't have expected this kind of
I think,
news to come.
Sajeet has a fan base
Yeah, exactly,
which
yeah.
loves to hear the inquisitive, curious, and informed Sajeet. And that base will miss you
keep
terribly. Sajeet.
learning. That's what I would say. Keep reading, and that's what you help. That's what will help any investor.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue that.
Of course, we would. So, Sajeet, what happens when Sensex hits 28,000 or Nifty hits
तो
28,000?
सबसे पहले तो तुम मुझे कॉफी भेजोगे
क्यों मैं क्यों भेजूंगा?
क्योंकि फर्स्ट फेड कट होने वाला है, ठीक है?
अच्छा।
अगले 10-15 दिन में जब होगा वो, तो मैं आपको एड्रेस भेज दूंगा, वहां पर भिजवा देना आप मुझे,
हाँ,
ठीक है?
हाँ।
उसके बाद अगली दिवाली तक है, तो अगली दिवाली तक हम देखेंगे लंच और डिनर जो भी.
पक्का हाँ?
हाँ, हाँ.
याद रखना प्रूफ है, पूरी जनता प्रूफ है सर.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल,
कि आपको
ये मैं शपथ है.
मुझे आपको पूरी 5 स्टार मील खिलानी है.
हाँ.
निफ्टी एट 28,000
और 27,500 पहले आप खिलाओगे मुझे, उसके बाद मैं खिलाऊंगा आपको.
ऐसा नहीं होगा सर. अगर 28,000 नहीं हुआ तो मैं आपको खिलाऊंगा.
हाँ, पहले मेरा 27,500 पहले होगा ना, उसके
वो
बाद
तो
28,000 होगा ना.
वो तो ऑब्वियस ही होने वाला है. तो क्वेश्चन इसका 28 होगा कि नहीं होगा?
तो 27,500 में आप मुझे पहले खिलाओगे,
फिर-
उसके बाद
Wow.
नीरज सर बोल रहे हैं.
तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ 27,000 का बैट वापस में
नहीं,
लगाऊंगा. एक और बात.
नीरज सर बोल रहे हैं 27,499 से गैप अप ओपनिंग होगा अबव 28 के. There won't be any.
For all you know.
There won't be any 27,500.
फिर आपको जो चाहिए.
I'm just just loving the comments right now because like everyone's shocked. Varun, I'm sorry, but this isn't a joke. We are also very very sad. But,
Why are you sad?
why won't I want you here, yaar? Sir, ये क्या बात है?
Okay, Sajeet, the comments are coming thick and fast.
Exactly.
Shreya is saying, no, this can't be true. Mrinal is saying, oh my God, we will miss you, Sajeet, sir. Shreya is
Thank
saying,
you
you
very
didn't
much.
mention yesterday anything and today you are signing off. I agree, Shreya. Even we didn't know about this yesterday. But why, Sajeet, sir? Who will replace the
Oh my
bear
God.
there? Impossible to replace the bear.
Where's the bear?
Right here. Right here.
Real.
Why, Sajeet?
Maybe I can make a guest appearance as a bear on your show.
Yeah, maybe you can. Sagar is, of course, wishing you all the best. And
Thank
saying
you.
that are
Thank you, Sagar.
extremely
And Varun.
insightful. But yeah, this Hersh, good thought to let some comments come in. But yeah, Sajeet, we wish you Godspeed in everything that you do, and we'll miss your insightful comments right here on this show in particular, and of course the newsroom through the day. But I'm sure that, as you said,
But I'm
in a
watching
couple of
you
times,
guys very closely.
and that you are just a phone call away.
Yes.
I think the surprising aspect because last couple of weeks when one this rate cut has conversation happened. The thing is, what I'm taking away from the last month that he said is IT. That he's turning bullish on IT in the 6 month, and he was the one who actually taught me how to be a bear in IT firstly over the last 6 months. So I'm like, this is cheating. You didn't stick around to teach me what you are learning for being a bull, but definitely.
You have the bull with you, yeah?
वो IT पे
Banter के लिए है.
हाँ नहीं but
देखो बुल का टाइम आ गया.
सर पर एक कंडीशन है
हाँ.
आपको जाने देने
हाँ,
के लिए.
हाँ.
सर एवरी डे आपको 1 लाइक ये शो को देना है.
देना है हाँ. So we'll
कमेंट भी
ask-
दूंगा.
और जब
सवाल भी पूछूंगा.
जब भी
सवाल
आपको
भी
गलत
पूछूंगा.
लगे तो एक बेरिश कमेंट डाल दो आप. चलेगा. वी विल रीड इट आउट.
मैं बोलूंगा कि यार तुम लोग ना ब्रोकरेज रिपोर्ट से ना बहुत कुछ ज्यादा ही ले रहे हो. कुछ अपना दिमाग भी यूज करो.
या ही इज ऑलवेज रिमाइंडिंग अस ऑफ दैट. ब्रोकरेज रिपोर्ट देखना बंद करो. खुद का भी थोड़ा दिमाग चला लो, आप भी एनालिस्ट हो.
Midun is saying, Sajeet sir, best bear, Papa Bear.
Thank you.
And of course, Speedo is saying that so much energy will be missed badly by Sajeet. I have learned a lot from you. We all do. Speedo, that's true.
Niraj sir is there
No, but
to
that
give you all the gyan.
that doesn't matter. All of us learn a lot from you all through the years. Sajeet was my first boss when I started journalism as a career, and I can safely say that as he's become a friend over time, I will badly miss him, but I'm equally happy
But
for him.
हमारे कॉफीज तो हैं.
Yes, हमारे coffees तो हैं. But yeah, we should sign off now.
Yes. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
Perfect.
sir,
Okay.
for always being there and for all the guidance that you've
you.
always given us.
Thank you. And take care of the product.
Yes, most certainly. Anyways, guys, आज के लिए इतना ही. See you soon.
See you.